Yeah, baby. We are back, man. It's another episode of Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian T. Licata. I am your boy, Gary G. Garcia, along with my partner, my brother in misinformation, Brian T. Licata. Yeah, man. See, rocking the Yo Dom hat.
Yeah, dude. I just got one.
Nice.
Just got them.
Where did you get it?
Dude, I bought it online. They sell them. There's a store that sells them.
What's the store?
It's called BrianTLicata.com/shop.
Yeah.
And, there's a bunch of Rated G merch on there. You can actually get this this hoodie that I'm wearing right here.
Look at that, jumping right into the sales. Nice.
I mean, you asked.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I asked.
Got the Yo Dom hat. It's $21.50.
What's it say underneath? My eyes are bad.
A classic dad hat never goes out of style, especially like this one that's made out of.
No, what's it say under Yo Dom on the hat?
Oh, Dom Herrera and Steve Rinaldi.
Very nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Steve is happy. He's got his name on some merch. How's Steve doing, man?
Good. I saw him on that Thanksgiving show.
All right. Jasmine, what's up, mommy? How are you? The Christmas tree looks nice in the background. Thank you. Yeah, I figured I'd sport it. You know what I'm saying? I figured I would sport it. The shit was mad easy to put up. It's not like back in the day. I remember back in the day, we used to have to like measure out all the fucking things and then put them in the pole.
I like a real tree.
That shit opened up like an umbrella.
I like a real tree, man.
Yeah, so do I, but I don't like what you have to do to fucking keep a real tree. You gotta keep watering it. You gotta fucking, then when you get rid of it, there's like fucking spiky shits all over the floor. Fuck that.
The needles?
Yeah, the needles. I'd rather just fucking, it closes like an umbrella. Rock and roll. I think it looks nice, man. You see on the ceiling?
It's beautiful.
See the star on the ceiling? You cast like these little stars and shit. Real trees are toxic to cats. See, you trying to kill mama?
I would never try to kill mama.
No, but you just think I should have a real tree.
So Christmas tree, cats.
Oh. I see what's going on here, man.
Well, I just need to know. And so to all of our listeners who are meow owners, are Christmas trees toxic to cats? The most common types of trees that are used for holidays are fir, spruce, and pine. The needles from these trees are mildly toxic to cats if they eat them. They cause gastrointestinal upset and irritation to the mouth.
Yeah, mama don't need none of that gastrointestinal shit. She's a puker.
Well, maybe you have. Is she eating? Do you have any other pine or fir trees in your house?
Nah, she's always been a puker.
Yeah, the pine needles. Yep.
She's always been a puker. She's always thrown up a lot.
But I feel like cats are smart, so shouldn't she know not to eat them?
She doesn't. She doesn't fuck with my tree at all. She doesn't climb in it. She doesn't fuck with the.
Because it's made out of plastic.
Nah, I had the real one. 2 years ago when my son.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, she didn't fuck with it.
Yeah, the tree looks great, dude. I like it. Are they blue lights or is it white and just?
Nah, they're white. They're white. They're cool and warm lights.
Nice.
So the warm ones are the yellow ones, and the cools are the reds.
Very cool.
And yeah.
When you guys had the house, how did you decorate it for Christmas?
What, my house back in the day with the family?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, we had King Handles. What's up, baby?
Booyakasha.
We had a dope tree. It was big, probably like 7.
But did you do stuff outside?
On the house, nah. Not really. Some decorations and shit. And we used to have a big, well, they still got it. She still got it. The big bay window, we used to put like the Christmas town in the big bay window. And
the village. The little village.
Yeah. But not, I guess they put, I guess she put a little bit. I think the ex-wife used to put a little bit up there. Now that I think about it, it's probably like a fucking snowman or something in the front. Can't remember.
I like the leg. We have the leg lamp.
What's the leg? Oh, you got the leg lamp?
No. I'm just kidding. My mom hated that. My dad also hated that movie.
I love that movie. I hated it when I first saw it. Like when I first saw it, I thought it was corny and like kind of old. I just didn't really get it. I just didn't connect to it. But when I
Right.
watch it now, that movie is classic.
Dude, it's a low budget movie. I think there's a lot of undertones if you watch it too with the writing, but then also the cast. I think it was Darren McGavin was the dad's name. He was a really famous actor.
Dude, the movie's great. The ending when they fucking go to the Chinese restaurant, they're trying to sing fucking fa ra 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 ra. No, fa la la, fa ra 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 ra. That shit is hysterical, yo. And when he starts beating up the bully and cursing,
Yeah.
it's such a good movie. I didn't appreciate it, like I said,
See, it's
when it
funny.
first came out.
TBS has been doing the 24 hours of A Christmas Story for a while, but when me and my brother were kids, we loved it, and it wasn't on all the time like it is
Oh,
now.
now it's
But
all
I
the time.
wanted a BB gun because of the Red Ryder in that, and my dad got me one. He got me a BB gun. I think he actually pulled his out of the attic.
Oh, word. I
What?
gotta send you another
JoJo's?
email. Yeah, another no, Scotty. I gotta
Or
send you
Scotty?
another email because he has a
You need.
different email.
Oh, okay.
Um,
But yeah, Darren
also,
McGavin was that was the actor in that dude. He was like the father. He was in a ton of shit
oh yeah,
that
yeah, I
he was
love the
acting.
father
Yeah,
in that movie,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
We got a leg chair in the blue room. Did you
Yeah,
see
there he
it?
is. They don't make men like that anymore, dog.
Nah, man. Every finger looks like a thumb.
Yeah, I don't like that chair, dude, or that table. It's a little creepy.
It's a
It's a
chair.
little.
It's a chair.
I'm not sitting on that thing, dog.
Nah, I wouldn't sit on it either. I don't like it. It looks corny, man.
Yeah, it looks a little.
Gladiator 2 was garbage. Was
Hey.
was he in Gladiator 2?
Oh, I don't know. King Hansel's probably just trolling. We need a troll tone on here.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to my man Willie Colon, man. Him and the whole crew came down this weekend, showed some love. We smoked a little bit after the show. They always come down to represent, man. And I'm glad I met these people, man. It's very rare. I met Willie and his whole crew. He's got like a deep crew too. I met them after a show once in Tropicana.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Yo, you want to come to our room, smoke some weed?" And you know
Oh,
me,
I
I normally
remember this.
I do
Yeah.
not chill with people after shows like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, "Fuck it, I'll go, man." And I went to these people's fucking spot. They had like a little like one of the big fucking sweet shits.
Yeah. Yep.
And dude, I must have did like 2 hours of all new material off the top of the dome. These people were just sitting there dying. It was great. We had a great time. But big up to him and the whole crew for coming out, man. I appreciate me out,
Did
and
you
now
post a
getting
picture with
back to it.
them on your Instagram?
Now I'm waiting for them to post it so I can
Mm,
share it. Um,
got it.
big listeners of the podcast too,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I heard you got a show coming up Saturday, December 14th. Pat's
December
place.
14th. Yeah, I do have a show coming up December 14th, man, over at Pat's Place for Comedy in where is it again? Summers Point, New Jersey, man. Go grab your tickets, man. The information's on my page. Go to Gary G. Garcia
We have a
anywhere.
special guest joining the show.
Hi,
You're
he's here, man.
live, dude.
On the show
Live.
today, it's great to have you back, my man Scotty of the JoJo and Scotty Morning Show on WZXL 100.1 in New Jersey. They allow me to come down every Monday. Can you hear us, Scotty? I don't think he hears us.
Mm.
He looks lost.
He does look lost. That's because he doesn't have headphones on. But the thing is, we can hear him.
I don't know. He's not saying anything.
He's not saying anything. He's like,
He looks so
what
lost
happened?
right now.
What happened?
I feel like we're like sneaking in his camera right now. Like
Yeah, dude.
he doesn't know we're
This
watching
is the
him.
view the CIA has.
Exactly. Yo, do you know sign language to Scotty doesn't know. Nah, Scotty doesn't know. He's looking, he read that. He's like, what don't I know? Anyway, man, in case you don't know who Scotty is, Scotty's the second half of the JoJo and Scotty morning show. He'll figure it out. Figure it out, Scotty. I do it every Monday on we do the conspiracy corner every Monday.
Oh
And
shit, dick shot.
oh yeah, look at that, man.
Got his cock.
Got a little Scotty cock on the show today.
He's gonna be so pissed when he listens to all this shit back.
Yeah. There you go. I think I hear something now.
Oh well, we can hear him.
Yeah, he needs to put in some headphones.
There you go. He's working on it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, you guys got me?
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to ADG, man. So
Sorry,
glad
man.
to have you back, Scotty.
Oh yeah, man, I love it. Anytime. I apologize. I got this new microphone. It's all fancy pants. And you can only hear the headphones if you plug into the microphone.
All right. Well, it's a nice looking mic.
Well, okay. So you want the backstory on this?
Sure, why not, man?
All right. So I got hired about a year ago, actually just about a year ago, by a great company called iHeartRadio. And
no free ads, dog.
And so
I fucks with iHeart, dude. They let me get on there every Monday,
Just
man.
kidding.
Yeah, so we get hired by iHeart, and then about 6 months later they fire a bunch of people. And as soon as they fired everyone, one of the women that they fired, I knew she had this microphone in her office, and I ran into her. It's like a $500 microphone, and I ran into her office and stole it. And that's how this microphone made it.
Oh, you're a buzzard.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's what you got to do. You know, that's what
You're
you got to do.
buzzard. Ran right in there, boy, and got that joint.
Yeah. So what's up with you guys?
Chill. I feel like I just saw you this morning.
Yeah, that's right. Well, no, you know what? In the world of radio, we won't see you till tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
Wink.
That's when. All right, cool. I didn't know. I didn't fall asleep till like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I would
you're
think.
nuts, man.
Is there a gain adjustment on that mic at all?
Yeah, let me see here.
Make you pull it a little closer to you, maybe?
Is that better?
What do you think, G? Does he sound good to you?
He's not talking. He's just looking.
Hello?
Yeah, talk.
A, B, C. Any better? Any better?
Yeah, it's a little better.
Yeah.
Pull it a little closer.
Yeah. All right. I can.
Yeah.
I'm usually the one yelling at people about this, but now I'm on the other side.
Nah, you sound all right, man. You sound all right. You got it going, man. Wrap both your hands around the mic. Kind of stroke it a little bit.
Gay! Yeah, I know.
King Handel says, I
I've
asked my
never done
dad
that.
for a BB gun. He said, no, you shoot your sister. Not going to say whether he was right or wrong. Here you go. We were talking about the movie Christmas Carol. Did you ever see
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story. I'm
A
sure
Christmas
you saw it.
Story. Okay, yeah. Of course, I've seen A Christmas Story.
Did you like it when you first saw it? And do you like it now? Do you think it's a good movie?
I think it's a movie where you had to like it as a kid just because it was something that was there. So, like, your parents made you watch it. It was just a thing. All your friends watched it. I don't know if everyone loved it. It just became a thing.
So
Do I watch it now? Is it on my rotation of holiday movies? No.
Really?
I mean,
I can lie. I hated it when it first came out.
my wife hates it. My wife refuses to watch it.
I love it now. I fucking love it now.
Well, I think is it because when you get older, you can relate more with it. Like when you're a kid, you relate with the little kid and your parents yelling at you and you know getting bullied. Now, like I relate with the dad more than anybody. And dad hated his life. Just want to put a gun. Like honestly, the best gift he could have had was put a shotgun in his mouth. Right? Like he lives in a shit house. Right? His neighbor's dogs just run through the house. His kids are shit. Right? His wife definitely is not fucking giving him anything.
No,
So that you know that guy, his tires are shit. They blow out, and then the kid yells the fuck, and so yeah, I mean like his life sucks.
But it seemed like the average life back then. If you think about it, I think it captured like what the average life was like back then.
That guy actually did a bunch of books. The guy who did A Christmas Story. And like he loved that like late 40s, early 50s lifestyle of America.
I don't know. I love the movie now. I hated it. I couldn't even watch it back in the day. It just
because it was in your face constantly. It was always just in your face. And
now I look forward to seeing it.
But you know, it was never a hit. Like it came out in the movie theater and tanked. And it wasn't until it went on cable and they just kept running it over and over. You can thank Ted Turner for that.
So you think they made me like it? You think they like
the government made you like it? Yes.
You think the government fucking made me like
Ted
it?
Turner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
Ted Turner,
did
because it was TBS. But I also want to say, I was saying first, so it came out in '83. When do you guys first remember hearing about it? Did you watch it? Did you watch it as a 13, 14-year-old?
13, yeah. I think I saw it in the theater.
So Gary's got a couple years on me. So I'm going to say probably 87, 88 probably would be the time that I saw it. And that's when it would just play on cable constantly. And then they finally stopped that.
Man,
and now they just run it on Christmas. Because before it used to run the entire month of December. It would just run constantly. That and It's a Wonderful Life. And to this day, I still hate It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, I still hate It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
Garbage. Top 3 Christmas movies.
Elf.
I
think Elf is always a good one. I'll go Elf. Okay, there's one if you're Catholic, and even if you're not Catholic, it's a good one, and it just came out a couple years ago. It's called it's the Seven Fishes, but that's not the name of it. But that's kind of the name.
Oh, I saw that one.
It's very good. It's got Andrew Schultz in there, and it's got the kid who's been in a ton of movies. And
is that because that's a Christmas thing that Italians do, right?
Yeah, Catholic Italians do it.
The Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Feast of the Seven Fishes.
Yeah,
fantastic movie, man. Really low key, good, just a fun movie. A third Christmas movie. Okay, a couple years ago, Mel Gibson put out a movie called Fat Man, where he played a Santa Claus, and he's a badass Santa Claus, and the world is depressed and they don't want Santa anymore, so the government puts a hit out on him, and now he's trying to he's being chased by the hitmen, and it's a fantastic movie. It's called Fat Man.
Never heard of it.
It's really, really good, and it's violent and it's fun. And it's Mel Gibson. It is Mel Gibsoniest.
Look at the Russian movie trailer.
And it's violent and it's
just
fun.
Japanese on you.
That's his top 3 Christmas movies. That's awesome, yo. What are yours, Brian? Let's hear your 3. That says a lot about you, Scotty.
Yeah,
it does. You might be a little demented.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna put Elf in there. I don't think it's gonna be top 3. I think that's in the top 5. I think A Christmas Story is in there, in the top 3. I think A Year Without a Santa Claus, the stop motion animation movie, is in there.
That's a great one.
And then be a toss up between a Charlie Brown Christmas or Mr. Magoo. Magoo. Do Mr. Magoo.
I didn't even know he had a Christmas
Mr.
special.
Magoo's Christmas Carol.
Mr. Magoo, huh?
I didn't even know Mr. Magoo had a
he
fucking
plays
Scrooge.
Scrooge.
That's right. He plays Scrooge. That's right.
Okay, I mean, look. I could make a whole list, but
I'm just saying those are my top
3. Your top 3.
The kids the other day watched. I hadn't watched it forever. The Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol. Yeah. The Disney Christmas Carol.
Man, if I watch that, I'm gonna have to watch it differently now. I'll just be looking for the subliminal dicks.
Oh, see, I think I remember watching this.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah,
that
Mr. Magoo. All right, so Gary will know this, but Brian, I don't know if you'll know this. Do you know who Mr. Magoo was?
Like based
you mean
on?
The Voice?
The Voice.
Who he was based on?
The Voice.
Voice.
My dad's gonna be mad because he raised me on this Mr. Magoo movie. It was his favorite.
Who was it?
It is his favorite.
It was the rich guy from Gilligan's Island.
Oh, the father.
It was Howell.
Yeah,
Mr. Howell.
Yeah.
Mr. Howell.
Mr. Howell.
Mr. Howell the third. Is that what it was?
The third.
Yeah,
Not to be confused with the second or the fourth. It was the third.
And he had that old wife. You got all that money. What are you doing with that old wife?
Jim Backus.
His name. They were all banging on that island. They were all banging on that island. Gilligan was getting it left and right.
If Jim.
Yeah, but these guys are probably gays. Back in the day.
Yeah, man.
Allegedly.
It's funny. So there's a great site to follow. It was
Can I get before we move on? Can I give my 3 movies
Yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
I
Go
think
ahead,
are the best, man? Well,
Yeah.
my favorite 3 movies.
Please, it's your show. I don't want to take.
Nah, man. I just want to give my 3. I just want to because it says a lot about you. Yours are very cool, man. Yours are insane. Mine, of course, I would throw the one y'all all said.
Elf.
Elf is up there.
I'll
Elf is
tell you
definitely
what.
up there.
Elf is like the Mariah Carey. It came in. It's like the last thing to come in that became a classic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking like my 3 of the 3 that if it's on, I leave it on and I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's repeatedly on throughout, you know, the holiday, I'll leave it on. So you got Elf, you got Christmas Story, which I can't believe. I love that movie now. And then my number 1, Miracle on 34th Street, the original.
I was going to ask you that. So you see, I don't dig that. You dig that?
The original Miracle on 34th Street, I think is probably the best Christmas movie ever made.
Yeah, and
I think so.
And then she fell off a boat.
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, that's a lot of people say that are her.
Especially,
husband.
Listen. I would say, I personally think, just my opinion, he was definitely murdered.
Well, okay, so
like, just think about all the shit that's going on now that we're finding out, which we always knew about, you know, with Hollywood. Come on, back then.
So the Hollywood rumor is,
what was her name?
Him on a boat.
Natalie Wood. So she was on a boat in Catalina Island with her husband. And I can't remember her husband's name. He was in Austin Powers, and he was in a show called Heart to Heart.
It was the dude from man, what the hell was his name? Yeah, he
Robert
was
Wagner.
Robert Wagner.
Yeah. So she was on the boat, but apparently on the boat was Christopher Walken, because they had just done a movie together, and she may have been throwing it to Christopher, and Robert found out, and then all of a sudden, boom, Natalie, who's terrified of water, fell off the boat. Or they said she tried to get on the dinghy to go back to shore, but they said she would never do that.
She would never do that.
And she drowned, and they found her body like a day or 2 later.
I think that's what they
and
say. My theory.
Christopher Walken has never talked about it ever. In any interview, he's never ever talked about it.
Obviously.
My theory is threesome gone bad.
Maybe.
Because I think it was. I think it was they were having a threesome. And Robert came first.
You think Christopher outlasted him?
Yeah, because that's what happens. See, before you actually have the orgasm, anything goes. You're like, get her. And then you pop one and you come back to your senses, because then all the blood comes back to your head. Then you're like, get off my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I think he came first.
You got to educate me, because I'm very innocent. I've never had a threesome.
He still kept banging it. Well, if you're gonna do one, if you're ever gonna do one, make sure that dude's a quick comer.
You've met my wife. My wife would slice a girl before a threesome.
He can't come first. I'm talking like for your lady. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Beautiful lady.
I guess what I'm really talking about is a train. but I guess if you want to be technical, it's kind of a train, because 2 dudes and a chick is a train. But I'm saying that's the thing. I think what's his name lasted longer. And then this dude popped one off, and then, it went from having a sexual experience to just watching his wife get banged by Christopher Walken's. He was probably talking with that Christopher Walken's voice.
Yeah. That hot Christopher Walken voice.
Yeah. So then, one thing ensued. And I think, bro, he probably did bros before hoes. So he stayed friends with Christopher Walken's. And that's horrible.
If you ever want to go to a website and go down a wormhole,
I love Natalie Wood, by the way.
It's called findadeath.com. Go to a website called findadeath.com. And I've interviewed this guy a couple times. He runs he'll go to death houses in Los Angeles, and he has a hearse, and he'll take you out in a hearse. And you'll go to all these different death sites,
dude.
And so he runs this website, and he goes in detail about all these murders and all these accidental deaths in Hollywood, and he gets into how gay old Hollywood was. Like, all those guys were gay. All of them were gay.
I mean, dude, it's the theater guys. The theater guys. It's theater. Yeah, it's theater. It's artsy theater. Come on, we want them to be gay though.
Yeah.
In a sense, don't we?
That's what.
Marlon Brando.
So you know the story.
Wait, I don't
Marlon
get
Brando
that.
and Richard Pryor, right?
Why do we want them to be gay?
Well, because
Listen,
they're
dude,
more.
if you're gonna go
they're
see
more,
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat
Yeah.
on Broadway, you
Which
want
I'm
they're
not.
more. They're
you
bigger
want
and they're.
some gay choreography. What
Well,
about
you
what about
heard
seeing the
that
Rockettes, dude? You don't want to.
Well-
You don't want some gay Russian choreographers to do the ballet.
Did you hear that? That
You know?
Well, the
Brando.
Rockettes just kicked. There is no ballet with the Rockettes.
Yeah, but do you want
No, there is.
Christian
Lauren.
girls being Rockettes, right? Like no,
Yeah, we got
you
a
want
bunch of
girls-
comments too,
Lauren.
by the way.
But
All
did
right.
you hear that Brando banged Richard Pryor or vice versa?
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm sure it was.
we've
I'm
talked
sure it
about
was
that.
back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm sure it
Yeah,
was
that-
back and forth.
that
I
was
mean,
always
Richard
a-
Pryor.
that was
Did you ever see the roast when Richard Pryor came out?
Yeah.
When he finally came out, because the whole roast he was sitting there waiting for someone to bring it up, and
Yeah.
nobody ever did. And then he said, "You motherfuckers had me up here sweating it. Fuck it, I sucked the dick." He was there, and then he goes, "I would have married him too if he didn't get the operation."
But yeah, man,
Let's go to
it's
some
crazy.
comments.
Old Hollywood, man. And there's a guy named Paul Lynde, and Paul Lynde was unbelievable. He was a great comedy actor. He was on Bewitched, and he was on a bunch of game shows in the
They're
'70s.
flamboyant like a motherfucker,
But
and
they
yet
would put him on
wouldn't-
sitcoms as a dad.
Yeah.
He was blatantly,
blatantly.
ridiculously gay.
He's like
they would
that
put-
guy that
Yeah.
kind of talk like that,
And
right? That
and
dude.
you watch him, and then they put him there as a dad with a briefcase who would come home and ask for dinner at 5:00, and he goes, "This
Yeah.
guy's super gay."
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean,
love
in a
Paul-
way,
I
that's
love
the
Paul
way.
Lynde, and hilarious.
But back then, that's the way the gay men were.
I guess.
You know, they all had families, and they stood late at work. You know,
I don't know how bad can I curse on here?
anyway, you can say anything you want, but
So-
we're live. Just so you know, we're
Yeah,
live.
just so you know,
I
we're
gotta-
live. Yeah, zero editing. It's
All right.
it's already
No,
out.
all
no,
live.
no, no, no,
But
no.
no, you
no
can say
delay.
whatever the fuck you want to say. Twat, knuckle, bitch ass,
So-
snake, pussy. It doesn't matter. You can say
So
whatever
one
you
of
want.
one of
I
my
mean, it
favorites,
probably
so-
will get us taken down from being monetized, but
but Paul Lynde, hilarious, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
all his friends knew he was gay, but they just made him like a straight guy on TV.
Mhm.
And he always said this joke when he was with his friends that they would be like, "Paul, what would it take for you to bang a girl?" And he goes, "Ooh, that's easy," right? And he would do it in that Paul Lynde voice.
yeah.
And he goes,
Oh, that's easy.
"Just stuff her cunt full of shit."
It's a good
To
joke,
me,
though. It's a good joke. Yeah,
it's a good
Actually-
joke.
yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's gross.
I
but
actually
that-
heard
but
I heard the joke the other day. The dude goes, you got to be really gay to be gay. Because girls have assholes too.
Well, do you ever see gay guys bully other gay guys? It's fun to watch.
I don't really
Like,
see
'cause
that.
there
Do
is
they
a
have a
pecking
channel
order.
for that I can catch it?
There
Cliffy,
is a
what's up,
pecking
brother?
order, man. Like, there's a pecking order of gay guys who make fun of other gay guys because of how gay they are.
Ray, what's going on, baby? Thanksgiving was dope. Best movie was Christmas Carol. I mean, it's up there,
Which
but I don't
one?
know.
But which
Which
Christmas
one?
Carol?
Which one?
Yeah.
Michelle Balducci. What's up, mommy? How are you? Hi, guys. Love you. My 3 is Charlie Brown's Christmas, which is a great one. I forgot about that one.
Mhm.
White Christmas and Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Okay.
Another good one. Another
I
good
do
one.
like the
It's
Santa Claus.
decent. It's
I
decent.
went back last year.
Lauren, what's up, love?
We watched White Christmas last year because I hadn't seen it since I was a little kid. Maybe one of the most racist movies ever. If
Well,
you watch
yeah, a lot of
it, it's
blackface.
more-
A lot of
Which
blackface.
one?
A lot of blackface.
A lot of blackface, dude.
Which movie?
White Christmas.
White Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh,
White
believe me,
because
it's a
they have-
very white Christmas.
yeah, they have the hotel, right? Isn't that the premise? They're at the
And they-
hotel and they
it
do
has-
everything for each holiday, right? They go.
It
through
really has
all-
nothing to do with Christmas. Yeah, they do everything for each holiday. And then they do President's Day, and they all go in blackface to play slaves. Because Lincoln's
Yeah.
freed the slaves. And so now you got all these white pretty girls who are in blackface. Go back and watch it. It is a ridiculously racist movie.
Yeah, I don't think I ever seen it, but now I want to watch it. Raymond says, loving the Christmas tree up already, Gary. True Puerto Rican right there, having it up right after Thanksgiving weekend. What, y'all don't have, do you have your tree up yet,
Oh,
Scotty?
yeah, our tree's up. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
our
when you
tree,
put it
yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
Like for Thanksgiving or right
Our
after.
tree was up before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right?
I'm real Puerto Rican.
Well, see, here's the thing. Mark, what's up, big dog? Here's the thing. That's probably gonna stay up. That's gonna be my new plant in the corner. You know
Well,
what I'm
that's the
saying?
thing. So have you ever heard this? My wife will keep the tree up until it's called Little Christmas, which is like mid-January. It's some
She Italian?
Dago. It's a Dago Italian thing.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, easy with the language there.
She's a whoppy as whop can get, and so she does this this little, like, it's little New Year, little Italian, I don't know, but it's like, I gotta keep it up to like the third week of January.
I keep it up till New Year's Eve.
Okay, all right. But then aren't you like, so you take it down for New Year's Eve? Don't you want it up for New Year's Eve?
No.
Three Kings Day is what I heard.
Now, what's Three Kings Day? That might be the same thing as the Italian thing. They just
January 6th.
Yeah, he's Italian. What are you, Scotty? What are you, Irish?
Irish, Scottish.
Yeah.
Scottish.
Little Italian.
Little Italian.
Little Italian.
When do you take your tree? Are you putting up a tree this year, Brian?
Well, I'm going to be traveling from Thursday through like the 18th. So we're going to get a tree down to my mother-in-law's house. I'm not going to get one up here. I was thinking about getting the little one up here, but I'm going to leave. I don't want it to catch fire.
Oh,
those things are flammable, dude. I got like the old heat in here. Like I'm not leaving it. But if I'm here, I'll get one. Even I'll get a little one for. But I was telling my wife, I think we should get a small tree that's this big in a pot. And then we just keep getting the pot bigger and bigger, and we just keep using that until we move out of the apartment, and then we'll plant it when we buy a house.
Yeah, I used to work at a Christmas tree farm. You could do that. That's easy to do.
Same, dude. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Where did you work at a Christmas tree farm at?
In beautiful downtown Hamilton, New Jersey, called Petrongolo Evergreen Plantation.
I worked at
You worked on the plantation?
Worked on the plantation.
Dude, I worked at the one in Acco on the old White Horse Pike.
Yeah.
Was that one a plantation, or was that like a farm?
Well, they had me working there, and they called me the brown boy, so it was kind of like a plantation.
Well, I mean, he worked on actual. It was in the name, plantation.
In the name, it's still on the sign.
Are they still there?
They're still there, man. Yeah, right there on Weymouth Road in Hammond. They're a great family.
So, like, people who sell Christmas trees, that's just like a seasonal thing, right? So, what do they do the rest of the year?
They owned, and this family at least, they owned an ice factory. So during the rest of the year, I would deliver ice for them, and then during Christmas, I would sell Christmas trees.
Like bags of ice.
Bags of ice, like like you go to Wawa, you go to a liquor store. Those I would have to deliver those bags of ice.
Are you from Hamilton?
I'm from I'm outside of Acco, Gloucester Township, right down the road from Acco.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, so right outside of Philly is where I grew up.
Yeah, Hamilton has a ton of warehouses. But like when I worked on the Christmas tree farm, he would pay me to go over in the summer to take care of the trees.
Well, that's what you have to take care of. I mean, it's a year-long thing. You got to take care of the farm.
They're the easiest thing to grow, though.
Well, the thing is,
Christmas trees, they get the bugs, though.
Well, they kind of grow themselves, don't they?
Well, they do. I think
Take a
that's
while.
like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
I think it's
year.
6 or 7 inches a year, something like that.
Yeah,
That's
about
how it
a foot a year. They like once they get to about 3 feet, which takes 6 to 7, sometimes 8 years, they'll get to about like 3 or 4 feet, and then it's a foot a year after that.
So it's a slow process. And our the last time I worked there was in 20 years ago or whatever. I didn't even think of this. There's like a black market. Tractor trailer rolled up in the middle of the night and went and cut all the trees down, threw them in the back of the tractor trailer, and took off. And it ruined the farm for a couple of years because they had to replant all the trees.
Yeah, they probably owed somebody money.
So this is
fucking took that shit.
They are,
son.
They are Italians. They like to gamble.
Hamilton, son. Church.
What
says,
but I'll tell you, man, it was a fun job. It was a little cold, but it was a fun job.
You guys cut them down like live? Did the people tag them and then you guys would cut them down when they come?
So we would have pre-cut and then you could go and we'd take you out on the tractor with the hot chocolate and we'd go and people would come like in September and tag the trees and everything. So they come back and make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, my guy only did that for like close friends. But then when we would cut the tree, we would hide the candy canes underneath. And then we'd say to all the kids, "Oh, look, you picked the right tree. Santa knew this tree was for you."
Yeah, I hate it because people would decorate that. They would tag a tree, but then decorate it. So then I had all these stupid Christmas balls hitting me in the face as I'm trying to cut it the fuck down. I hate
So,
dad threw it in the back of the truck.
so this is what happens when two tree workers get together. You could just talk about trees for days. I don't think I could have
Yeah.
ever
You have
had
to
a
lime them, G.
conversation
You have
that
to,
long.
you have to add lime. That's an old school New Jersey tradition. Is
So-
you lime your trees. to
So
kinda
what
get that
did you
pH.
have up in New York? What did we just have? Corner lot trees?
Yeah, they just had trees like on the corners, and
Yeah.
motherfuckers just be pulling them out of a van.
That's how they are, dude. Right now. You
So
That's
you're the
how-
guy who got the trees from my tree farm. That guy
Oh,
probably just sent 'em
yeah,
right up
from
to
the
New York.
dude. Yeah, so that's where Agus and Coles, that's where they go, in case you're wondering. They go right to the hood, you know. But I never bought real trees. I had the same tree throughout almost my whole entire life till I was like 30.
Did you do fake?
Yeah. Yeah, I only got
so
a
we
real
just-
tree once. That was 2 years ago. I got a real tree.
We just started doing fake a couple years ago because the tree's like 19 feet or 12 feet or 16, whatever the hell it is.
19 feet, bro?
It's crazy. It's crazy. We
This
have
dude,
these
what
he
kind of
got high
palace do you
ceilings,
live- oh,
though.
yeah.
yeah, we got these high ceilings. So my wife bought
We
it
got
one
high
year.
ceilings.
Dude, to the point where I have to take the top part off and then we have to decorate it. And then I got to go up a ladder and then put the top part back on when it's decorated because I can't get all the way up there to decorate it.
I used to like high ceilings till my light bulbs went out.
Yeah, dude. Or the heat. You know how much the heat is? And it all goes up to this stupid ceiling.
Yeah,
It's
that's
stupid.
where it goes.
It's so stupid.
Raven says the tree that's currently going up in New York City is coming from Massachusetts. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, I think they're lighting it tomorrow in Rockefeller Center. They're doing the lighting. It's up already, though.
Yeah, I saw this thing where there was like a big fire somewhere, and like one tree stood standing, and Biden's wife cut it down and took it. You ain't seen that shit? Look it up, yo.
So what do we want to? All right. So do you want to talk about the? All right. The Hunter
Whatever
Biden.
you want to talk about.
All right. Let's go Hunter Biden.
You want to go with Hunter Biden?
Here's where I'm coming from with Hunter Biden. Right.
In case
Hunter
anybody
Biden.
doesn't know, just in case you're living under a rock, President Biden has pardoned his son for all the things he was convicted of and all the things he might be able to be convicted of going all the way up to 2014.
And which is crazy
Because he was
it's
convicted
even-
of shit that was in 2016.
So it's crazy.
But he got
because
pardoned for stuff
he-
that
he-
might come up in
yeah.
2014.
I think there's even a footnote in there that, like, if he commits a crime in the future,
I think there was something like that.
pardon
Yeah,
him.
that's what it looked like. Why don't you look that up for us, Brian?
So here's where I'm at.
Which one in particular? What
What's the pardon?
It is. I mean, I think it's 11 years, right? Anything in the past 11 years, which is John Stewart.
I got the pardon right here.
Yeah,
Let's see
John
what it
Stewart
says.
put out a great video, and he's like, 11 years is such an odd number. You're right, like 10, 15, even 12.
No,
But
he went to
11.
214 for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today
Because
I
that's
signed a
when he
pardon.
started colluding. That's when he got. That's when they made him the top dude over at some fucking science place.
Remember, he
You know.
was selling paintings to the Ukraine or
And-
whatever.
Dude, he wasn't selling paintings to the Ukraine, dog. Hunter and
Was
his
he-
dad allegedly.
He was on the energy
No,
board in
dude,
Ukraine, wasn't he?
Yes,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Dude, yeah, energy. Yeah, energy.
He started that
But,
in
dude, it was
2014.
Yeah, and that was when they had a revolution in the Ukraine
Mm-hmm.
and overthrew the government, installed a pro-Western fucking guy, and then
Yeah.
that's when Putin started fucking marching. That's
you
what
know,
started all this. They
I
did.
just started diving into the Ukraine stuff a couple days ago.
Well,
But
first
I
you
didn't
have
know.
to prove to me that the Ukraine exists.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't like. I know you don't think it's real. But we caused that in 2014. We were the ones that made them do that.
Yeah, don't say we. Not
Well,
we.
not we.
Biden and the fucking
government.
CIA, dog.
Well, NATO and
They
everybody.
overthrew-
CIA, actually. You just said it. CIA is what it
They
was.
overthrew a
this-
democracy.
Yeah, it's called the Revolution of Dignity. I was looking at this last night, and
It's
it was at
crazy.
the end of the Euromaidan protest when the deadly clashes between protesters in Kiev culminated in the ousting of President Viktor Yanukovych, who was like
Yeah.
pro-Russia, and returned to the 2004 Constitution of Ukraine and the outbreak of the Russian-Ukrainian war, dude.
So here's the thing. So they're not allowed
Yeah,
to
it's
vote
CIA.
anymore. So that Zelensky, he got rid of voting.
My opinion.
So Zelensky doesn't allow voting. So he's now just the dictator. He's going to be there forever until he gets ousted.
That's crazy, dude.
Until he does something wrong.
The Ukraine that really is on the Russian border wants to be part of Russia. They don't want to be part. His approval rating is in the toilet. That's why he took away voting, because he would be voted out in an instant because of the way he's handled this Ukrainian war.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
this
if you
is the Democrats' fucking war, bro. This shit got started
It's CIA,
during dude, it got started during Obama, and that's why all of them, dude, they've all been provoking it. Really?
Yes. Yeah, we signed an agreement not to move anywhere near there, and since we signed the agreement, we moved closer and closer.
Yeah,
you know,
we were the ones that helped overthrow it in 2014.
Dog, we would do the same shit if Russia was fucking coming up here, dude. That's why Central and South America is so chaotic.
I mean, according to Putin, there is no Ukraine. Ukraine used to just basically be like
outer lands. That's the
outer
definition of it.
lands. Yeah, outer lands. That's all it was. It was
What's
like the South side. It was like it's sort of like if the South side of Jamaica wanted to leave Jamaica because they're the South side and wanted to be like their own fucking spot.
It's the one to the west, Crimea. It's the same thing with I mean, they were the same one. They were like, hey, like, you know, we don't want to be part of any of this. This is all nonsense.
Yo, the CIA is crazy, yo. You know what I just found out today, yo? You know when they took out Gaddafi?
Yeah.
Yo, they sodomized him on film and sent it.
They shoved a sword up his ass, dude.
Yeah,
they killed him with a sword.
And do you know how shitty Libya is right now?
That's how they killed him. They put a
shoved a sword up his ass, bro. Yes.
Was he still alive when they did that? I know he did. I know they just mutilized his body once he died.
Yeah. They did it after. I heard they sodomized him after.
But
and supposedly they sent that video around to the heads of other countries, dude.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So what happened?
That's sick.
Al-Qaeda took over Libya. It's Al-Qaeda and ISIS now run Libya. So Libya is a disaster right now.
Wow. And
not that look, having a dictator sucks, but it's almost the Saddam Hussein thing. It's better to have him than what is there now. They were better off with him than without him.
Wow,
dude, they out there.
Dude, I don't know about all that.
Nah, dude, they'll tell you different, dude. I agree with Scotty on that, man.
It's
what, then Gaddafi? You think they were better off with Gaddafi or without Gaddafi? I think they were better off with them and without the U.S. around.
Well, yeah, they were
better with him.
They were better with him and let him do his thing. They were a country that was
and he fucked up because he wanted to have his own money. He didn't want to be under the dollar no more. And then he did this big speech that I just saw on Candace. He did this crazy speech.
He did it at the
he
UN.
was on with the CIA, at the UN. And they said that was the speech that ended his career. That was it. He was done after that.
Gaddafi?
Yeah. Yeah, dog. It's crazy, man. They said once he did that speech, it was already over. And then he wants to do his own. All those countries, dog, whenever they want to start taking over their own country and looking out for themselves.
That's what it was. Yeah.
That's when they go in and say, nah, brother, don't forget.
But you gotta understand, man, that northern part of Africa, like that's a crazy place. And so he had this little like land to himself, and he actually had a country that was kind of thriving. But I mean, look, was he a dipshit at times? I'm sure, but it's better than what they are now. Now I think they're just in chaos.
Yeah, it's really crazy. They got a lot of oil there, I guess, right?
Well, that's how they made all the money. Yeah, that's why.
Like I feel like something else too.
But what a lot of people don't know is they're killing a lot of Christians out there too.
Well, do you know
all the countries that they go into, even the Ukraine, they're killing a lot of Christians.
On a fun.
Who though?
CIA. At the end of the day, they're the ones behind it all. Allegedly,
the intruders. Whoever's intruding into the country, is that what you're saying? Or whoever's disrupting, or the people who are like
the people who are provoking it? They're provoking these things for a reason.
Got it. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? All the countries that we go into, what people don't realize is, even in what you just said, what was it? Syria,
Libya.
Yeah. Mad Christians being killed out there too. I mean, you can look it up.
Syria is another disaster.
All the countries we go into, though, that's who we're taking out. And they say the reason behind it is because they're the only ones that can't be controlled. They answer to a higher power.
If you want to keep it fun,
it's all very satanic, man. King Handel says Gaddafi supplied Diddy with baby oil.
Might be true.
Raven says it's crazy how this is coming up to light now in the past year or two, but it's all been happening since 2000. Dude, this thing's been happening way before 2014, man.
Hundreds, not thousands of years. It's been
it goes so deep when you start to actually research it. It goes very deep.
But if you go and look,
Church Street says you motherfuckers gonna make me turn to C-SPAN.
If you look in Gaddafi's like history, there is a lot of funny parts where he was like that crazy dictator that like he like made up like remember Michael Jackson would wear like military gear, and you're like, why is he? Gaddafi came up with that. Like he would wear this military gear, but he never served a day in any type of military. He just he would do those big things on the shoulders and like he would have all these medals on. And it's like, this guy never spent a day ever in the military. He hated camels and Libya was filled with camels. So he ordered to have every camel in Libya killed because he hated camels.
Why did he hate cat? What did the cat? Maybe one kicked him in the
like
chest
when
he was little.
He was very
really
big.
Just because of the way it looked.
He was very big on how the country looked, and he did not like the way camels look, so he killed all the camels in Libya. Yeah, and the dude. I mean, look, the guy was nuts.
Yo, that's some shit right there. You don't like camels because the way they looked.
Yeah.
Where are platypuses from? Or like aardvarks. Where are those shit from?
Aardvarks are down south, so I think they like heat, I believe.
Aardvarks are in Africa.
Are they?
There's a lot of them in Africa. There's also some.
Like
Africa. Yep. And then platypus, I think they.
Aardvarks.
Platypuses are like in like ponds and streams.
Aardvarks are anteaters, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yo, they're lucky that they don't got Gaddafi out there fucking running that spot because they would have been done. Those are like ugly fucking animals right there.
You can fact check me on that, but I'm almost positive that I remember reading that he hated camels and he had everyone killed. Every one of the camels killed in Libya.
It could have been propaganda for all those camel sympathizers. Give us a reason. They said that just to give us a reason to go to war.
He was a weird dude, man.
I got an idea. Let's tell him he's killing all the camels.
There's a documentary that came out a year or two ago.
This whole ordeal with the Ukraine and Russia that we've seen in the media the last 2 years, for sure. All these conflicts are way before our times, though. It all started. The thing with Ukraine, with Russia, started right after the wall came down. Because once the wall came down, we signed an agreement to say we would not move 1 inch closer to them. And every president since then has moved closer and closer and closer. And this time they just poked the bear too much. And it's what they wanted. They want war. They're warmongers. You know what I'm saying?
Did you
Church says, just like we killed all the female trees and now Licata's allergies are out of control. Yeah. There's no female trees, dog. All the trees are gay. That's why pollen, dude. That's fucking tree nut all over the car when you it's called tree nut. It got nowhere to go.
What it is?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I learned something every day.
Yeah, man. That's why when you see all that pollen, you're like, why is there so much pollen? Why are allergies? Because the pollen got nowhere to go, son. There's nothing to fertilize.
So going
back to fertilize your car.
Going back to Hunter.
Oh yeah, going back to Hunter.
I have a weird feeling about this. I'm torn because I know it was a completely a mismanagement of power, but I'm a dad, right? And if I have the power to get my kid out of federal prison and not have to serve any time, even though my kid's a dipshit, I think I'm going to do it too.
See,
here's the question, though. All right,
but it's his dirt too. It's their dirt.
Well,
it's not just Hunter's. It's
there's
his.
a lot of cover up. You're right. There's a lot of cover up
because anything that Hunter did was because Joe put that shit in place.
Yeah.
Well, 100%. That and the fact he's a spoiled crackhead.
Yes.
Let's not forget that.
He knows his kid would die in jail. His kid would never survive in jail.
See, but here's the thing. I agree. My kid, But would you have said throughout all that time, every time they asked you, would you pardon your son? What would have been your answer?
Well, I mean, if you're talking to me, who's of right mind, and I'm not, dealing with
You're
dementia,
President Scotty right now.
but I'm not dealing with dementia.
President Scotty too hottie.
I probably would have.
President Hottie, straight up. If your son is convicted, will you pardon your son?
I would have been very vague about it.
No. I'm asking you right now, President Hottie. Will you pardon your son if he is found convicted?
So you're talking 6 months ago.
No. I'm talking to you right now, President Scotty.
No. But you're talking
Mr.
6
President
months ago.
Scotty, Mr. President Scotty, 6 months ago.
Where he said that he wouldn't.
No. I'm asking you, Mr. President, if your son is to be found convicted.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, that's a tough one because you don't want to look weak. And at that point, he was in the re-election. He was going. He was still in the election process. And
they hid his fucking laptop, bro. They scrubbed his laptop from everything.
Well, look at Hillary.
All right,
everything she did.
See, Scotty, wrong answer. This is what people want right here. They want honesty, right? Brian, ask me that question. I'm President Garcia.
President Garcia, how now that you're president and your term's gonna be running out and your son's been accused of all these crimes, are you gonna give him a pardon?
If he's to get convicted,
are you gonna give him a pardon before you leave office?
I'm torn. As a father,
yes or no.
I'm gonna answer your question. You will be satisfied with my answer if you just let me answer it. As a father, I feel very torn. So if you want my honest opinion, my honest answer is I will have to cross that bridge when it comes.
See, also terrible political answer.
That's why I can't be a politician.
Ask me.
Go ahead, Brian.
President Licata.
Yeah.
Now that your son's been convicted by the federal courts, will you pardon your son?
Thank you, Mr. Garcia, and everyone for joining the press conference today. As a president, there are many tough
choices.
Will
you pardon your son?
There are many tough choices that we have to make. There are a lot of things to consider. I've spoken with people in the Justice Department as well as some of my senior advisors. They're giving me several options to look into because we want to make sure that everything follows the constitutional law and that everything is above board and then we have the proper channels met. So once all those things are considered, you'll have an answer from my press secretary's office. Thank you.
I will say that is the best answer that was said.
That's as political as can be.
That was the best. All Brian, right. Sit down. I want you to hear this. That you should run. See, but you know what? He's a ringer because he's worked in politics. Mm-hmm. In DC. Right? He used to get diddled in DC in the tunnels. Okay, he was
in the bathtub. I have a picture of me in the bathtub.
Yes, he does.
A marble bathtub,
like Tupac,
with blood stains,
Tupac, with all the gold on him.
Yeah, I do have a question for you, Brian.
Well, let me get my accolades first. Hold on, let me get my accolades.
Oh no, dude, that was the best answer.
It was good. It was awesome.
Very well done. Political. Kamala couldn't have done it any better.
Oh, Kamala would have stumbled through that one. All right, we've talked about on the radio, right? Mm-hmm. And that radio show I'm talking about is JoJo and Scotty on 100.7 WCXL. You got kicked off of the what's that Tony Hinchcliffe show?
Kill Tony.
You got kicked off that
blackballed,
show, right?
Yeah,
blackballed. Did it make you feel any better when he did that Puerto Rican joke and everyone went after him? Did it give you any type of like, you know what? Okay, he's feeling my pain now.
It did. I enjoyed it, right? As I enjoy, mild miseries of, just about anybody that I know. I don't want it to be like hurtful, but I think from his perspective, my guess is he's like, I probably shouldn't have done that, and he got paid.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Actually,
good thing he won.
Well, and his response was, I apologize for absolutely nothing.
Nothing. I give him a
That's
lot of
what he
credit
said.
for that. He didn't
Yeah.
back down at all. He was like, "I'm not apologizing for anything." And
Yeah.
it turns
Yeah.
out Rogan
And
explained
I feel
it.
I feel the same. I feel the same way. like it doesn't matter that I fucked up on a show because what's changed?
Yeah,
Exactly. You know what?
Yeah, nothing.
You know
and
what?
that's like
You should have went. I would have been proud of you when he said to you, "You'll never be on this show again." You should have looked him straight in his eye and said, "I was just on it,"
I just left.
and then walked out, son. That's what you should have said. I was just on it, and then walked out. You were probably driving home and thought of a better comeback too, right? And there was like, George, fuck, I'm going.
Oh, it's that thing. Yeah, it's that thing where after you left, you're like, I should have done this.
Dude, should I put my name in the bucket as somebody else's name? I'll get a fake ID. Try to get pulled again.
Oh, do they check your ID?
Yeah, because they don't want you can't keep putting your name in if you got called if you get blackballed, I guess. That's probably why they want to know. Yeah, so I guess for people like me that they're like, do not enter.
Well, no, because like you said, they could put their name up like 3 times, just keep changing their name.
Right, but you have to show some sort of ID or something like that. Because they
That's what
also
I'm
make
saying.
you sign a talent release form. I mean, because they're getting paid on that production, so they need to get rights to use your image.
Yeah.
So
and
if people don't know what Kill Tony is, Kill Tony is.
Oh, they know. Everyone who
they know.
watches our show knows who
We
Kill Tony
can't have
is,
an
dude.
episode
Yeah.
without them bringing this up. And here's the
So-
question. Here's the question, Brian.
Mhm.
Did you ever think it would haunt you this long?
Yeah, no, dude. I knew on stage, as I was bombing, as I was reaching in for the laughs, I was like, this is going to be brutal. This is horrible. Why did you do this? But then at the same time, dude, as soon as I got done, dude, I go across the street to the bar where everyone's hanging. They're like, oh my God, how'd it go? I was like, I bombed. It was fucking hysterical. They took my chain. They made a joke. It was great. And they were like, you're okay with it? And I'm like, yeah, because it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter because none of this is real.
You eat a
Yeah,
bag
it's
of
just
dicks,
like,
who
dude,
cares?
it's
Nothing is real.
Nobody in the business likes him, bro. Like everyone thinks he's a dick, and they don't like his show. So it's like fucking blow me.
I mean, listen, it's an open mic, so it's like
Yeah, it's like,
open
dude, how
mic
can you
is
really be
bomb.
mad at me, dude? How can you be mad at me for doing that?
And I thought your joke worked. It was a
He had no rhythm.
it was a baby of a joke that I think could have grown into something.
Yes,
good.
yes, that's what I told him. It had legs.
Yeah, it
But it
did
had
have
like
legs.
those flipper legs.
Yeah,
Like-
it
like
just
my
you
grandkid
It was
had
it was a
those
tadpole.
legs.
you miscarried. But it was, if you
You
wanted the full,
miscarried.
if you want the full term, it would have been great.
They're turning the frogs gay.
So
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I've tried to watch it. I'm not, and yeah, I have nothing against.
I like
the
a
guy.
stand-up, dude. I saw him.
Oh,
the,
dude, he's a killer.
the day before. Crushed for like 25 minutes. No crowd work. No nothing. Just straight material.
Did you see when Ric Flair was on?
No.
And
I don't
so
really
Rick-
I don't watch the show.
So Kill Tony. So they have
I
the
think
guys-
that's
I never
why.
watched
I
it
think
before.
that's why he was mad at you, dude.
Yeah,
Because he
he
asked you and
yeah.
you said, "Nah, I don't really watch the show." I think that's when he said. That's when he got upset.
And I knew that
I
was
think
going
that's
to
what
piss
it
him
was.
off too.
The same way when you went like that, when you did a joke, you leaned in, and then you leaned back and you went. I said, "It's over. It's over. This dude is done." Right? When you said that, I got that same vibe. That when you said you don't watch the show, that's when he got upset.
Yeah, wrong
I
answer.
can see that.
Yeah.
No, I knew.
I
No,
think that's. I think
Gee,
that's why.
100%.
If I'm,
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not trying to defend him, but I think that's what it was. I think.
I know.
think he
I
took
will
that
say I
kinda
should have played it a
personal.
little better, so I do apologize.
You were very unlikable,
Yeah,
which I found very odd. I
But
was so upset how unlikable. I know you. You're one of the most likable
yeah, but the
people I've
thing,
ever
yeah,
met.
the thing was
and
since
you
I
came
was,
across someone likable.
but okay, gee, here's the thing, right? So after I bombed, right, and I had no chance, and he was starting to ask me those questions, like to pull me down further to roast me, right? That's when I said, all right, fuck this dude. I'm not going to give him anything. That's why I was like, nah, I don't really watch the show. That was the only defense that I could turn to in
Had
that
you
point.
watched the show, you could have turned to the defense of being funny. Like if you would have just been funny to anything he said, he would have let off a little bit. But instead, you just said fuck him and became more and more unlikable. And you had two people there who were rooting for you.
But it's okay.
They were rooting
Dom
for
wasn't
you.
rooting for me, dude.
Dom saved your life.
He did.
Dom saved your life by interfering because you went.
All right.
And when you did that deep breath, I said, "Oh man, this is gonna feel like an hour for him, yo. He's
You know
got
what's great,
1
dude? I'm
hour."
gonna go out to LA, bro, and because I'm doing some stuff for the doc, and every
Yo,
time I'm
you
gonna
should interview him. For
Who?
the doc.
who Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What's funny is I was talking to him 2 nights before at the bar at the mothership about the doc, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to do it," and then he's like,
You should
whatever.
still call him. Be the bigger man.
And
Let's
look,
get him on our show.
Look, it's all wrestling.
want him on
At the
our-
end of the day, everything is wrestling. It's okay to be the heel. You were the heel that night. It's
Oh,
okay
yeah,
for people.
right,
it's
right,
okay
right,
for
right,
people
right,
to hate
right.
you. That you want that. You want that heat. You
But he's
want
so
that.
likable. You met him. He's so
Yes,
likable.
But so that night he went.
He
for the
wasn't
heat.
trying to be the heel.
Well, I need stage training. I can do the podcast, but I can't.
You should
on
have
the
came
lights,
to my
it's different.
class.
It's different, isn't it? Like that's why JoJo doesn't do this because he's scared of coming on the podcast because he doesn't know how to do the podcast thing. He knows how to do the radio station thing. He can be in front of a microphone in front of 1,000 people. He can do that, but he gets scared when it comes to this kind of stuff.
He's afraid he's gonna say something crazy.
Well, that's what it is. So Joe doesn't. I love JoJo to death, but he doesn't understand. He thinks that podcasting is just people saying "fuck, shit, cunt," like all the horrific things you could possibly say all the time, constantly.
Has he
And I'm
watched
like,
it before?
I'm like, it's not like
It's because he doesn't. Sounds like he doesn't watch any podcast.
He doesn't watch any podcasts.
Oh,
He doesn't
well,
know
then
what
you shouldn't do
podcasts
one,
are.
dude.
And so to
Yeah, why
him,
do
it's
one
like,
if he doesn't fucking watch them?
and so to him, it's
But he
like
doesn't.
he might as well be a porn. He's like, he just goes on there and he's like, yeah, it's gonna ruin me. And I go, but it doesn't. You control you. You don't.
You know what I really think it is? I think that he doesn't want to come on my podcast because his wifey has a little crush on me. I think
She
that's
does.
what it is.
His
I think
wife.
both our wives do. I think both our wives have a little crush on you.
I got your back if you guys should ever die unsuspectedly of pneumonia.
Yeah, our wives love Gary. Gary's a big hit in our households.
I love your household, man. I always feel welcome there.
Yeah,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? So Lauren likes going there too, so it's cool.
I'll tell you what, Gary's the best, man. Thanksgiving, I'm falling asleep. It's like 9:15.
Mhm.
I finally kind of like pass out. Like we've been done dinner for like hours, and it's a little before midnight. I get a text from him. Hey, I can't come over. I go, yeah, it's midnight. I'm like, it woke me up, and I'm like,
Scotty,
I hope you don't come over. It's midnight.
you're lucky that
He didn't call
that
you.
my
dude.
money. You're lucky my money doesn't match my stardom. Because once I'm that dude with money, I always tell Brian, I'm gonna be that dude that all their women hate him because I pick him up at
I
like
can't
some
wait,
crazy
dude. I
time,
can't wait for that.
and then I bring him back like 2 days later.
Yeah. It's the middle of winter. We're both tan. Like, where did you guys go? We're like, dude, we started in Miami. We got on a boat, went down to Jamaica.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
and I mean, I think all of us have dabbled in the world of bad things. That was one of my favorite things was when I found cocaine, and I was like,
Where did you find it?
I was like 19, right? Okay, I used to buy it in the freezer of a bar in Margate, New Jersey.
Oh, which
And
one?
it was called. It's still around. It's called Maynard's.
Oh, yeah.
And
dude.
and then the guy, the cook who sold it for years, right? Sold it for years. He got busted, and they lost their liquor license and everything. Like it was a big mess. But that's where everyone bought it. You would buy it from this guy. You would go into the freezer, and you would buy it from the guy.
Yeah, Scotty,
And,
you'd actually you'd be interested in this. I got like an article from my dad that was from, I think it was an FBI article that was all about organized crime in South Jersey, and it was mentioning like Maynard's, Memories.
Sure. Yeah.
All those other restaurants back there, but then one's up in Gloucester, Camden County, all over, like in the 90s.
It was all over. So we rented a place right
2000s?
behind Maynard's. So this was like 99. We rented a place right behind Maynard's in Margate.
Who's
and,
we?
And it's me and a bunch of kids from college, like a bunch of
all right.
high school buddies. So we all rented a place. And our mail, like we got some mail, and it was Scarfo. And if you know anything, Scarfo was like
Mickey Scarfo. Dude, Philly mob boss. Yeah, he's the mob boss of Philly.
His sister owned the place. And at that point, we were like, all right, we cannot
What, you're saying,
this up.
the spot,
so she got mail there, and then we found out that's who owned the place. But so this was it was a fun time. Like, you're innocent, right? Like, we had nothing to lose. So me and my buddy would start doing coke on like a Friday, and then we called it time travel, because then we wouldn't remember anything all weekend until Monday morning, and you'd wake up and you go, "What happened?"
Like a Diddy party.
Like, what?
It was all a dream.
Like, what? And it's crazy. I've never experienced anything like that.
Do you remember the first time you did cocaine?
Yeah.
What was the first time you did cocaine?
It was in outside of Gloucester, right on the border of Gloucester and Camden, and it was on a Blockbuster VHS tape cover, and the cab of an ice truck that we were delivering ice in. And I went and snorted it, and it burned, and I blew back down and blew it all off.
You fucking dick, dude. Yeah, you only do that once, bro.
I learned quick not to do that. Yeah. But no one told me that it would burn.
Yeah, here, check this out. This is
Brian.
I think college. It's probably college sometime.
You don't remember the exact time you ever did cocaine?
No.
I remember, man, the very first time. I remember the first time I smoked weed, first time I did cocaine. I remember I was at a house party, just graduated from 8th grade, getting ready to go into high school. We had a house party, and my bully was there. I was very uncomfortable the whole night because my bully was there, and I was like, fuck, man, Then he comes up to me and he goes, yo, come upstairs with me. And I'm like, oh, man, what the fuck is this all about? And then he asked me if I did cocaine, and I said, nah, I ain't never did that shit. And he said, you want to try it? And I said, fuck it. I'm easily swayed. Like, I said, nah. And then he said, you sure, man? I got some right now. And I said, fuck it. Right. And I did cocaine for the first time with this dude. And then it's funny, he wasn't my bully anymore.
Well, I'll tell you,
cocaine actually made me friends with my bully.
And that's what it does. So that's it. Cocaine made me friends
with.
Cocaine.
I just want to make it clear that we do not condone the use of cocaine.
No. It was a long time ago. That was a long time ago.
Diana Marie, what's up?
She says, "Well, that was dangerous."
I'll tell you, cocaine was one of those drugs where it would make you friends with people who you would never be friends with.
Yeah,
right.
Because you're just talking. You're
just talking, and they're like, "Yeah, man, like, I left a bump for you," and you're like, "All right, right." And so. And for me, it was only maybe a 3 or 4 year span in my like late teens, early 20s. But yeah, it's nuts, and it's amazing how I like those moments, like Gary was saying, with his bully that you just remember, and it's like,
yeah, I'll never forget. We became friends right after that.
Yeah, it was, and it. I hate to say it because drugs are bad, kids, and don't do drugs. But it brought me and a bunch of people together for a short period of time.
Look, if you do it right, it's just like any other drug. If you do it right, test it, do it right. It's like any other drug. It does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, because I'm.
But you got to pick your poison, man. You got to pick your poison, dog.
But I'll tell you, I'm in between you guys, right? But age-wise, I was terrified of cocaine because of those commercials in the 80s.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, were you scared the first time you did it?
Yeah. Instantly, I thought I would die. I thought I'd snort it and my heart would explode and I would die, and that was it. Because that's what they said. Every cartoon, every commercial on Saturday morning, they would have huge specials in school that you would watch. Right? Not kidding. Brian, I'm telling you, Saturday morning cartoons.
Don't sniff this.
They would have cartoons on Saturday morning. And during the commercial breaks, they would have these commercials saying, like, don't do, like Punky Brewster would tell you, don't do drugs, right?
Yeah.
And so I was terrified the first time that I did. I'm like, I'm going to die. This is it. This is like,
Now, did you smoke weed first before cocaine?
So I smoked weed.
That's why I wasn't, because once I smoked weed, I was like, oh, they're lying to us.
Well, because the
first time I ever felt high, I was like, they're lying to us.
So my brother's 9. Yeah. So my brother's 9 years older than me. And so he was smoking weed. So then I smoked weed with him. I was like 15 or 16. And so then, yeah, I got a little comfortable with that. So you're right. Like it's stepping, right? Stepping stone. And then, and then it was drinking, and then the coke and
Oh wait, you didn't drink until after you did cocaine?
no, I think I smoked pot first, drank.
Really?
I remember my brother's first wedding. It was I had my first beer, and I was 15, and then I don't know, 18 maybe was when I did coke for the first time.
See, I would think, what did you do first, Brian? Drink or smoke weed? Heroin.
Weed. Yeah, no, weed.
Really?
Actually.
Smoked weed?
Well, okay, so I mean,
Wow.
I had sips of alcohol as a child, but the first time I got drunk is what I would say. So I got stoned before I got drunk,
Okay.
but it was in the same year, and it wasn't too long after.
See, I always said that I would think the order is usually alcohol, weed, cocaine, and then
Yeah, usually.
psychedelics. Or you can mix the psychedelics,
okay.
then cocaine.
I think I did the psychedelics before the cocaine.
So did
Yeah,
I.
that's what I'm saying. Psychedelics.
But then pills
then
were really a
cocaine.
big part of,
See, Brian, that was your generation. That the pills were never a thing. I think for Gary and I,
Well, I used to like meth. Meth was very big, and
yeah, but not those kind of, not those kind of.
No, mescaline, not pills. They were tabs.
Yeah,
King
but
Wonder
like
says
the-
Brian has those quaaludes on deck. Brian had those quaaludes on deck.
I'm telling you, man. Like I'm lucky that pill stuff just missed my generation, and yeah, it was it like it never even came across our radar to like do pills.
Yeah, the wild thing was, man, like I went to rehab for the first time in 2012, and it was like a real mixed bag of who was in there, as far as the percentages of like, coke, alcohol, drugs, and then like, what type of drug. And then by like 2016, when I went, it was like, most people, like 90% of the people were there for opiates, and it was like 50-50, like heroin versus pills. And then now they're just mostly just like 90% of the people in there on heroin.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I never really, I was into pills early because I used to have we had this chemist dude that used to make us like all kinds of shit. Until I had
everybody had a chemist. Everybody
until I had
one friend.
Yeah, this dude was a literal. He was literally a chemist. Like he was an actual chemist. But he made me this pill once, and that's all I could tell you.
Yeah,
I remember going into the Wiz. Nobody beats, because I told him I just want something that'll make me feel, like I'm drunk. That's the feeling I want to have. Because I didn't like drinking.
You roofied yourself.
I didn't like drinking. I basically roofied myself, dog. The last thing I remember is going into the Wiz. My man was like, "How's that shit?" And I remember it was a big pill, man. It was like a horse tranquilizer, like
nice,
blow it down my throat, shit. And I said to him, "Yo, this shit is dope, yo." I was like, "This shit is fire." And then next thing I know, I'm waking up. All I know is the stories I've been told, and none of them are good.
Yeah,
none of them are good, yo. Crazy.
Now, Brian, do you talk about your journey into getting clean? Do you talk about it a lot?
Yeah, I mean,
he prefers to talk about his journey into getting dirty.
Well, I'm interested because I always
more particular, yeah.
Like I always love to talk to people who like are in recovery and are doing it, and like I'll just equate it to like me smoking cigarettes. Like if I had 6 months to live, first thing I would do is go buy a carton of cigarettes, right? Is there anything that makes you want to go and be like, okay, I would go back to that life, or is that life so far behind you?
I mean, dude, if the consequences didn't exist, like I would take 2 Oxy 80s to the face every morning.
So basically, if you had 6 months to live, that's the end of the podcast. Unless we
I've also said, dude, once I hit 80, bro, like, hell
you think once you hit 80, you're gonna want to get high? Yeah, probably, because you're gonna hope it kills you.
Dog, like go out,
I think it's cute that you think you're gonna live to your 80.
I don't want to dive too deep in, but like, what was the line that made you go, okay, I gotta get my shit together?
I think it was probably just family, like having the right association of family stop talking to me at the same time.
So they saw it, they knew it.
Oh yeah. Dude.
So
Anybody who knew me from fucking 2010 till 2017 knew that about me.
so the
It's only people afterwards who didn't. You know,
so the sucking the dick behind the dumpsters, that didn't,
the
you
glass
know,
dick, and he's by saying
that
dick, he's not saying gay
didn't.
dick. He's saying the glass dick, which is a euphemism
No,
for
no,
the
no.
crack pipe.
I'm saying I'll suck your dick.
See, that's the thing, dude. If I was a woman, I think it's much harder for women to get clean, you know, because they can
It's
They
just.
so
can get
easy.
it so easy.
Well,
But
that's
no,
what
there comes a point when they can't.
well, and
Well,
that's
there
what
comes a point when it's all just like you're like,
Yeah, but dude,
you
that
ain't
just-
got it no more.
But even in the heroin, crack, cocaine space, dude,
There's always
it takes a
somebody willing to
while for
pay.
that, dog. Yeah, well, and also just to put you up in a place to stay. Like, I mean, how much do you really need to live? You know, like if you're doing drugs, all you need is somewhere to sleep and drugs and food.
I always hear
Occasionally,
that
you
from
know?
people with money, and people with money say that the worst thing is to be a drug addict with money because there's no bottom. You're not going to be on the street.
Well, there's
And then,
always a bottom.
you know,
Eventually, you're gonna bottom out.
but the bottom is real bottom, and so Artie Lang
Or,
used to talk
you know,
about that he
Yeah,
goes,
the bottom's
worst
the
thing.
bottom's different for everybody, though. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, some people's dead.
you know, but it's one thing
Can't
when
get
you
more
have the money,
bottom than dead.
when you have the money to just have it all the time, and maybe that's what the Diddy stuff is like. You get to a point, man, where and I've heard that too, where it gets the perverse stuff, right? It gets to a point where you're so rich, you're so famous, you fucked so many girls, you've maybe now gone through so many guys that's when you start fucking around with kids, and you need
Well,
something more and different.
it's also been going on for a long time, especially
Sure.
like the elites have been marrying each other through the ages. Like, dude, World War One, like England, France, and Russia, they were all cousins. All three of those presidents were cousins, and Germany. If I didn't say Germany, they're all
But
related
the
to
truth
each
of the
other.
matter is, when it comes to the Diddy thing, also you can't forget the satanic aspect to it, because there's a satanic aspect to it. But we were
I
talking
actually wanted
earlier.
to. I wanted to.
Check this out, Brian. We were talking about this earlier on the radio tomorrow. That
Tomorrow in the
you ready for
future,
this? You ready for
what we're
this?
going to talk about in the future.
So what started the whole spiral going down, right? They say it was this chick suing him, right? But you ready for this? He sued, what's the name of the place?
Diageo. It's the booze
Diageo.
distributor for Ciroc. Yeah.
Yeah. He was partners with them for Ciroc and another alcohol that he was starting, right? They signed him for $100 million. They made a deal for $100 million, right? He sued them, saying that they was racist. This is what we didn't get to talk about also, is that when he started the lawsuit claiming that they was racist against him, their stock dropped 20%. One of the major stockholders in that, BlackRock. So they're saying that he thought he was the head dog, but
They came after him.
there's always someone bigger. So when you look at like the things of the case of the lawsuit, he was suing them, saying that they weren't showing him attention, and they were making his stuff like urban, purposely making it urban. And he used the fact that they just signed a deal with George Clooney for his liquor for, I think, $1 billion. So he was trying to say that, even that alone, he wanted like the same as Clooney. He wanted the same. Meanwhile, Clooney's alcohol was already bigger already.
It was huge. It was him. It was Cindy Crawford's husband. Him and Cindy Crawford's husband.
Yeah,
And
it was huge already.
Business that was like insane.
So I mean, it really didn't hold water, but the damage was already done. And what they did was they settled.
Okay.
They bought him out.
Okay.
So he basically blackmailed them to buy him out. They got emails, and one of the emails, he says if he doesn't get what he wants, he's gonna burn this bitch down.
You see lots of clouds and can expect a
Interesting.
high
What
of
is that?
40
Sorry,
degrees
hold on, that's
Fahrenheit
me.
and a low of 30
Alexa,
degrees.
stop. That was sorry. She
Yeah,
went
man.
to tell me the weather.
And you didn't even ask, just like a woman. So they're saying that when that happened, they bought him out, right? And they said that once they did that, they were like, he was on the radar. So that they went and they turned over a lot of stuff to Cassie's lawyer, because Cassie's lawyer is like one of the biggest, the firm she got is like one of the biggest firms you can get. And they were like, how do you think they got that? How she got that was supposedly, allegedly, through BlackRock.
I don't know if you
and
guys
some of the other people.
If you guys were busy
So
today,
that's why it all went down, because he tried to blackmail the blackmailers, dog. Try to hustle the hustlers.
He also like sold off and then bought back Sean John too from somebody.
Dude, he got too big for his britches, dog. That's what. That's why the whole thing went down.
Yeah, when you get too much money and maybe
what was the first thing we saw? Was it that guy with the lawsuit? The lawsuit that we read?
The Cassie lawsuit was the first thing. The first one we started reading. I started talking about it over the Cassie lawsuit.
Who's the guy?
But then, what's his name? What's the guy's name again?
Yeah, November 16th, 2023, she filed the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Cassie did.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's an ex-girlfriend.
And they bought, you ready for this? And you ready for this? And they bought him out 2 months earlier.
Of the Ciroc brand?
They bought him out 2 months, and then boom, the next year, 2 months later, the lawsuit comes forward. Not to say that the lawsuit isn't valid. What I'm saying is they would have had his back had he not. The lawsuit probably never would have came out.
Well, yeah, they would have covered his ass, but now, he's on his own.
And supposedly they, and then you also got the thing now with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, they settled it in January of 2024. Yeah, and he said, I think he owns it now. Here, hold on, let me pull this article up.
Who owns it?
That he owns it also. This is from the AP, which I don't trust.
No. He withdrew the lawsuit, but the damage was already done.
Yeah, as part of a settlement with London, blah blah blah. Agreed to resolve all disputes. Yeah, Combs sued them last May, saying they didn't make investments in Ciroc and De Leon and treated them as urban products. Okay.
And meanwhile, they put in I think they put in something like 100 million, and he put in $1,000, and they were partners.
So if you guys watched Rogan at all today, he had some guy on, and it was about internet security, and the guy started in like the 2015s, 2016, 2017. And so he was doing internet security, and he talked about, this is crazy, man. And it brings up the Epstein thing and the Diddy thing. In the 70s, the CIA admitted to, and they showed in front of Congress, a gun. And it was a gun they would use to kill people. But when they shot them, it would look like they had a heart attack.
Yep.
And it was called a heart attack gun.
We've spoken about that back in the day, Brian. Remember? It was a long time ago, man. A couple of years ago, we spoke about that.
And this is how they took out reporters who they didn't like. It is how they took out world leaders they didn't like. And it's crazy. And they came out and said it flat out. Like it was like 74, I think, 1974.
Yeah, it was a small poison dart that they would hit him with.
Yeah,
a poison dart, and it
would make them look like they just had a regular heart attack.
Yeah, the Iceman used to do cyanide in a spray bottle, and he learned it from somebody who was also a mass murderer, and they never mention his name in the book, but the guy used to drive around in an ice cream truck, and I guarantee you he was, some sort of operative.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah, some kind.
I gotta throw that in there every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think we make it very clear that this is, we're brothers in misinformation. So if anything is wrong, look, double check us. What the fuck would you listen to us for?
That's what I say. I always say, I'm very vague with details. So feel free to look it up. But,
well, I sent this to Gary the other day. So I have a Google Pixel phone, and I was just deleting some apps and stuff like that. And your phone, if you go into the settings for each app, will show you what permissions each app has. So pre-installed, every phone, Android or not, has a wireless emergency alert system. That's how you get the Amber Alerts, shit like that happens. We've all gotten those, when your phone buzzes for whatever reason. So on my phone, I went into the wireless emergency alert, and it says, all right, it can connect to paired Bluetooth devices. So this app if it's connected to Bluetooth, can play the tone through it. So it can show notifications. It can receive text messages. It can read cell broadcast messages. And it can read your text messages, SMS or MMS, and can also disable my screen lock. And this is an app that's pre-installed on your phone.
Can you turn it off?
No, dude.
Oh,
but it's just a back door. It's just an open back door.
Yeah.
You know? But the whole all the internet is an open back door. Is that what this security guy was talking about on Rogan that you listened to?
Yeah, so he goes pretty deep into just the way that they in 2014 it actually started with the Ukraine. They just locked down any type of freedom you had on the internet, and that was the Obama ushered that in, and then he started with the Trump at the first Trump administration, just trying to like get into it and understand it, and he said it's insane, and it's just gotten worse since 2020.
Yeah, the advent of AI is hard too, because you don't know what's real, what's false.
And he was very big in early AI, and that's what he actually was studying. And interesting guy. I don't know his name, but yeah, I mean, it was the latest episode of Rogan. He was on there, and just it was interesting, man.
I gotta check it out. I was watching the Candace thing today, and she had a whistleblower from the CIA. Supposedly,
you love that Candace. You love that Candace.
Mike Benz.
That's
the guy you're talking about.
That's the Rogan guy. Yeah, Benz.
The Rogan guy. But today she had some CIA dude who said Google is CIA controlled.
Yeah, dude, I've said that to you on the show multiple times. No, I know.
Listen, okay, I'm verifying what you said. Also, real quick, could we do one thing real quick? Could you go into your Instagram and look at not the last thing I sent you, but the one before it? Because you remember I said that I saw the conversation of Diddy on PBD, right?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Thank you. Somebody clipped it for me, and I found it. I knew I saw it on there.
I'm going to need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
The what?
All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Yeah.
Did Jay reach out
yet?
He
says anything. Nah, Bob. He ghosting.
This motherfucker doing things tweet now because I'm in here.
It's all good. You about to get out on bail.
No. Hey, yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie.
Alright, Bob. It's just crazy right now.
Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have a laugh.
What about all these lawsuits though, Pop?
Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. Yo, listen.
They don't show him 12, but here's the thing. I remember the episode. He wasn't playing it as that. Somebody said, "Did you see the thing?" So they played it for him. I don't remember what his response was, but I remember they did talk about is it real with AI and all that shit. All I'm saying is that I saw it on that. Remember, I said I saw it either on that or the other thing.
What's that guy's name? David Patrick
David.
Patrick Bet David.
Do you guys want him on your show?
Can you get him on the
show?
Yeah. So his executive producer used to be our executive producer. I'm going back 15 years ago.
We would. Can me and Gary will go down and do. Let's get Gary.
Yeah, man. I'll reach out now.
I'll pay for the tickets. I'll fly us down.
It's so funny. So his executive producer, and this kid has come a long way since he was with us. We used to keep a vacuum, like a big, almost like a leaf blower, and he would fuck it in the studio. And he was like one of these stunt kids, and then he would do anything. I remember he got an STD from a girl, and I had to diagnose it in the studio. So he whipped out his cock, and I had to diagnose the STD. I love that kid. So now he's his executive producer.
What was it
actually?
What was your diagnosis?
It was like it wasn't anything that lasted forever. So it wasn't like the herp. It was like sores, but they almost like a mix of like warts or something like that. I remember we looked it up and it with some like amoxicillin, it like went away.
Little antibiotic.
But like, yeah, but it was all over his dick, and it was, yeah. And I remember because he banged a girl. He met her at some radio event we did, and she looked like Alf. And I remember we just used to call her Alf. So he's the best. But he, like I said, man, he's been like all around radio forever, and then he's landed with this guy. Dude, he just took a private jet to go see the world.
Let's get PPT on our show.
So yeah, so I don't know if what's the guy's name? Patrick
David.
If he wants to know all that, I doubt he bangs a leaf blower in his studio.
Huge. Dude, this dude had a watch party for the elections, and he had tickets where you could park your jet. He said we only got 6. He said we only got 6 VIP with jet parking. So get them now.
Well, that's what. So my buddy,
he's in Florida, bro. He's around all those billionaires, dude. Like a lot of guys are down. Like he's based out of Boca, I think.
Your jet.
Yeah, but bro, it's big money, dog. Big.
I don't know where's he from.
Back it in.
He's got that weird accent where he's like Canadian.
I'm pretty sure he's Iranian.
Is that what he is?
Yeah, he's Iranian.
Iranian.
Because
Assyrian. He's
Assyrian. Okay.
Assyrian. Yeah, he's Iranian, dude.
Yeah.
Why are they calling them Assyrians now, dog?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I went to college with kids like that. Like they would grow up in like Turkey or Iran or Syria, and they would go to Canada.
He calls himself Assyrian. Interesting.
So
yeah, see, that's why I thought it was.
Because he has that. He's got that.
Yeah,
weird...
he says proud Assyrian, but like, dude, this is a bit like there hasn't been a country called Assyria since biblical times.
But good.
Well, if you get him on the show, you can question him on that.
No, I'm not questioning on it. He knows his ancestor. Like he says he was U.S. born, but he was born in Iran. So his background, like it was Assyria way back then. Yeah. So I think it's cool he calls himself Assyrian.
All right.
Dude, I went to college with kids who are Iranian, and they were like, dude,
Persian.
Big money.
Sounds sexy.
Big money, and they would go and have vacation homes in Turkey. Like I guess Turkey's right there.
Dude, we fucked up Iran, dog.
Yeah,
the U.S. government overthrew the Iranian. Like you see
CIA.
Yeah.
Like I one of the kids I went to high school or college with.
70s.
It was carpets, dude. His parents made money off those the Persian carpets. That's what they would import and export those fucking carpets.
There's a lot of money in those carpets, is there?
Dude, it was.
Especially when they're wrapped around bales of cocaine.
So are those are you talking about Persian rugs or Oriental carpets?
Not Oriental, no, Persian rugs. And that's how they made that's how this family made all their money, man. And they had this like villa on the Mediterranean Sea on the coast of Turkey, and he would like talk about Iran like it was the greatest place ever. And then the shit hit the fan, and it was like, all right, well, I'm glad I don't live there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
King Handel says, if he's Assyrian, I'm a Canaanite.
Oh, have you tracked your ancestry? That's the question.
I have not. I'm not giving anything to the government, so no.
The whole what is it? 23.
Yeah, you got an
supposedly
Alexa sitting on your desk,
is going bankrupt.
Yeah, I did hear that.
You heard that, right? 23andMe is going bankrupt, and also right before they even announced that, supposedly there was like they lost like a big like hack. They had like a big hack.
I think that was the thing that made people not do it. But here's the problem.
I always said not to do it. I don't even get sending your DNA out. I just don't get it.
Well, for
you know
years,
what I'm saying? To somebody you don't know. You're not walking into a place actually seeing a person. For all you know, this is some dude in his mother's basement. You know what I'm saying? Just rubbing your DNA all over.
Yeah, she's the lady who started that company, and Wojcicki or whatever. She's married to the guy who started Google.
Okay.
Yeah, but Google, when they went public, like Google, like, so these guys came up with Google at college, and like they were at fucking whatever the school is in
I think
California.
It was Stanford or something like that.
Yeah, it is Stanford. And the CIA's got like taps in on that. So they see these kids creating the search engine, they give them the seed of money. So it's the seed of money from the DoD that springs the internet and Google and this whole technological revolution.
Insane.
Why do you think they were trying to kill that? They were trying to kill that guy McAfee. You know, like he was on the run.
Oh
they
yeah,
had
they were
that
trying to
virus
kill
guy.
him.
But all
And
those
they
years,
eventually got him. He's dead.
Did they get him? Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
did get him.
He
Yeah,
died like 6 months ago or so.
but didn't he kill somebody?
yeah,
There's all
allegedly.
kinds of weird stories, about him.
Yeah,
he
he
was a
did
kind
die.
of he was one of these rich nut jobs too. But
to me, when I watched the documentary when they were chasing these guys around,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
so
dude, this is a
did I.
CIA guy, bro. He seemed like he was one of those dudes. And like same thing with Musk, bro. Musk is PayPal, right?
Yeah,
He's boys with Peter Thiel, and if you listen to him on Rogan, Peter Thiel owns this company called Palantir. Stock's exploding, by the way. I would highly recommend anybody to buy that stock. Palantir.
I'd like to mention right now that he has no training in this whatsoever. So if you follow what he says and it doesn't work out,
Well, I don't know.
Lady G has nothing to do with it.
And I don't know what how you guys feel about it, but like the 22andMe or whatever it is, 23andMe.
23andMe, 24 if you're Downey.
So I never wanted to put my stuff in the system, right? But
That's
then
why. You did it.
But then I got busted. Now I got a Dewey in my mid-20s, so I'm in the system now anyway.
Not your DNA.
Not my
His
Well,
prints.
no, they take the swab. They took a swab.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now I'm like,
Oh,
fuck,
so
I'm
you
good,
got
like-
busted when the DNA had the DNA bank.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
So,
I
like,
never
I'm
got
like,
busted
I'm
at
in the
that
system.
time. Since that, so I haven't gotten busted in a long time.
Yeah, it was the only time I was in the
No
back.
reason to
No.
get busted. That's
I've only
why.
been in the back of a cop car twice. That was the second time I was in the back of a cop car.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Only time I had handcuffs. The first time I never had handcuffs.
Oh, so is it real?
No, it was. It was real. It was real, believe me. So it always pisses me off, man, because I'm like, shit, I'm in the system. Like, no matter what, I'm now just in this database somewhere.
Yeah, I worked for the Fed, dude. When I was in 2008, I worked for the federal
Well, they
government.
lose a lot of shit all the time, man. So don't worry.
Hopefully, you lose the file.
They lose shit all the time, yo.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Shit gets wiped. Shit gets rained on.
Yeah, dude,
buddy of
January
mine-
6th, all my records got stolen.
I'll tell you, man. I got my buddy was a cop, and I had like I don't know some like traffic tickets or something, and he was retiring, and he's like, "Hey, man, I just pulled your file. Like this is a paper file back then." And he goes, "I just pulled your file out. Whatever the tickets you got in this town." And he goes, "I'm just going to toss them in the trash." I was like, "Yeah, that's the government I want. That's what I like."
So
Well,
you
that's the-
definitely
that's
would
the
have. Then you definitely would have pardoned your son.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
You would have pardoned your
But
son.
see, and that's the real truth of the matter. And how can we really blame the politicians? Because if we were all in the
Yeah.
same position, I
We
mean,
do
I
the
wouldn't
same
be.
thing.
I'd be doing not exactly the same. I'd be doing some similar things.
You just try and be smoother about it.
Well, dude, I tell you what, no drugs would be legal.
I
I'd be
would
fucking
try to. You know what I would
taking everything.
Here's the thing. I'm a consequence dude, right? So what I would have did is I would have brokered a deal with Trump to let him do a couple of months and then have him pardon him.
Well,
And in exchange,
Trump-
I would
Trump did bring that up.
in exchange I would have gave him Hillary. I would have made a deal. I would have made a deal.
bartered?
I said, listen.
But Trump
Yeah, that's
did
the smarter
that,
way to
man.
do it, right? I would have
tell
said,
you.
listen, you let him do a couple of months to learn his lesson, okay? But
It's like
then
when your
once you
kid gets in
become-
trouble, you let him spend the night in jail.
yeah, and then then you pardon him.
But
And
Trump
the day
did
you
say,
pardon
man,
him to make sure you keep your end of the bargain, I'll give you Hillary.
Trump did say after the election, man, he gave the olive branch, and he goes, "I would probably pardon Biden, Hunter Biden," and he was just trying to, be like, "Hey, look, there's just too much chaos. Like, we got to get rid of all this nonsense, and we
Nobody
gotta just,
wants that, man. Everybody wants
I know, wants blood. They want blood.
justice, man. Not
Yeah.
blood, justice.
Yeah,
And if
but the
there
problem
should
is
be
there's
some
just
blood in that,
there's too much
then
shit
that's
out
what they
there.
want. You know, they want him to fucking. I mean, in a sense, some people got to pay the piper. No, I mean,
I
how
don't
much do you let them get away with? They got away with Covey, right?
Yeah,
And all the stuff
they get away
did.
with murder.
Okay, I mean that's a given. You know, because most of the time none of those murders affected you or me. Okay. But then they
Okay.
did shit that affected everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, motherfuckers ain't got beef with. We just trying to live our life. That shit affected everybody. And we let that go. You know? And then they try to do something else that affected at least half the country. At least half the country was being affected. The other half, they were doing what they wanted them to do. So people want to see some people got to pay the piper. Some people got to pay the piper.
I hear you.
Not everybody, but some people will pay the piper. You know? I mean, that's what I think. In order for him to be looked at as him keeping any of his,
Well, I guess somebody's got to take the fall. You go back to the 80s, like Ollie North, right? Oliver North. He had to take the fall for the Iran-Contra stuff, right? Even though Reagan his hands were all over that. Hey, yeah, here's the guy, the military guy. He's got to take the fall for it. Right? Somebody's got to take the fall for something.
The difference then and now is that I think everybody back then knew that was the fall guy.
Yeah.
Now I think they're gonna have to try to make it a little more convincing.
Well,
they're gonna have to get someone big.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna go after Clive Davis. They're gonna go after Diddy.
Sure.
And
the thing about
and all the people who we know their faces.
And the thing about Biden is we'll never see him again. He's gonna pull a Kamala. He's gonna as soon as he's done. He's going to do
retire.
a Reagan.
They're going to retire his.
He's going to be dead within a year. Within a year, he'll probably,
He's been. I think personally, and this is just my opinion, that he's been dead at least.
We've talked about this over and over again. Yeah.
I'm going to say the debate.
Maybe
the debate, but maybe before that. Maybe before the debate.
Probably a year ago.
Yeah, he's been dead for a second, I think.
Yeah.
When did he start getting taller?
Once Christmas hits, I don't think you will ever hear from him. He'll make an appearance at the inauguration, right? He'll hand over the Bible or whatever they do so he can take the oath, and that's it. And then we'll never see. He'll do the Reagan. We'll never see him again.
If he's smart.
Yeah.
If he's smart, that's what he'll do. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I think the guy. I think, to be honest, the damage. Look, Kamala was she was a dud, but
dope.
I think the person who got the most damage was Obama in this. He came out looking like an asshole. I think Obama came out.
And what a different Obama too. He's real smooth. And this time he was very angry,
that's what I'm hearing from different people that it wasn't even the old Obama. This was like he wasn't prepared, he wasn't ready. I don't think any of them were. I don't think they had a fucking clue what they were doing.
Nah. King Handler says Jimmy Carter outliving Biden would be wild. I think he already did, dog.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Carter already outlived Biden. I just think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But yeah, I'm not buying what they're selling. That's just me.
Nah.
I'm not buying what they're selling, man.
And it's interesting, man. You go after that wife. What's her name? What's Biden's wife's name? Janet, June Carter, whatever her name is.
Dr. Biden.
Dr. Biden. Yeah, so she can
She's
do
one of the worst women in the world, yo.
Sad, man. Especially
what she did to her husband should have been criminal.
Because I deal with a mom with dementia, and to see what she did, like she was the one pushing all this, and like I'm watching a guy who is worse than my mom. Like my mom's pretty bad, and I'm like, how can you let this? How can you let this go? Like, how can no one see this? And they're still letting it. There's up until 3 months ago, they were still feeding to us that he was going to be the next president.
It's because they wanted to avoid the primary.
Yeah.
Well, that shit was elder abuse for years.
For years.
For at least the last 3 years, it was elder abuse. And probably 4. I mean, in reality, he was just a little more, he had his head a little more together in the beginning, but they were still pumping him up on Adderalls, allegedly.
Yeah. I want to know what that makes the cocktails they gave him.
Yeah, allegedly, man. What a waste of drugs.
It didn't work.
That's what I'm saying.
And why didn't they give it to Kamala? Take whatever you were pushing in
They had to give her something to slow her down, man. That fucking cackling hen. King Handle said Jill held it down.
What did you guys think about that
I'd
speech
marry her. Hell no, man. Hell no. She's an evil woman.
What did you think about that speech she gave when they had to fire everyone from the campaign? And she looked like she had her wig was all off, and she looked like she was slurring her words, and she was drunk.
Oh, the one where she said, "Never give up your dreams.
Never give up your dreams." Yeah, she
Never
was a
give
mess.
up
She
your
looked like
power.
she was about to fall asleep.
Never. Yeah,
And
that was great.
And that was pre-recorded. That wasn't
The
even
best
live.
is the chick I be watching Lefties Losing It with that chick that has that little, I don't know, she's from like England or some shit. And she was like, is that her mantra that she says in the mirror?
That's funny.
It made no sense.
Timur says his mask is amusing. State of the Union was perfect. Bravo, actor Biden. Hell yeah. It's funny because ever since they finally said his health was failing, the last couple of times I've heard him, it was the best I've ever heard him. It sounded like he was getting better.
They found the good mix of drugs.
You know, nah, man. It's not him, dude.
Or you just think it's somebody else?
It's not him.
Or I think he just doesn't care. If it still is him,
man.
and once again, let's say it still is
man.
him. I just don't think he cares at this point. He's like, he's pissed off that they did what they did to him.
Yep.
And
you're right. You want to know what? You're right.
And we talked about it tomorrow morning. We'll talk about it. I'd pardon Tiger King. I'd pardon Diddy. I'd pardon Epstein.
Can't pardon Diddy.
Can't pardon what's her name? What's the name?
Can't pardon Epstein.
What's Epstein's chick? What's Epstein's chick's name?
Ghislaine?
We'll pardon. Just pardon.
And that
everybody.
ruins the name. I like the name Ghislaine.
Okay. So so we used to have a transgender on our show named Michaela.
Oh.
And so it went from being a guy to a girl. Now it's back to being a guy again. And it ruined the name Michaela for me. And if you remember Megan Fox, her name in the Transformers movies was Michaela. And I can't, like, it kills me.
Did he take the name because it was in the movie? You think
his name was Mikey? He was a cop in my neighborhood growing up. And then he killed the kid. Right? So he killed the kid. He chased the kid across the street. Kid got hit by a car. Oof. He was all steroided.
Well, technically speaking, the car killed the kid.
The car killed the kid. So he was all steroided.
Someone should have told him that.
And
he could have saved himself a lot of trouble.
He took an early retirement, and with his pension and his health care, he went and transitioned into a woman. Cut the balls off, kept the banana, got boobs, and became a woman. And then after about 5, 6, 7 years of being a woman, he didn't like it anymore and moved back to South Philly. And now he's back to being like a macho South Philly guy.
Was he a good-looking woman?
No.
Oh, that's why he didn't like it.
But a good-looking guy though. Like it was.
Yeah, well, I'm a good-looking guy. I'm not gonna be a good-looking female.
But you know what's fucked
your
him
nose
up?
is too big.
Thank you.
So this is one of the things.
You got a big head.
It's a little bulbous.
I got a big head too. I'm with you.
Big head.
But, so here's the thing. It'll fuck you up. So he was born, or he was born.
It's all round.
A hermaphrodite. And this was in the 60s. And he was born a hermaphrodite. And the parents
had the right
were like,
to try both. See what he likes.
Well, so the parents were like, "What do you want?" And we're like,
give them both a test drive.
So that the parents were like, "We want a boy." So they just pushed the hormones as a boy, and he ended up almost becoming an Olympic swimmer because they put so much hormones and shit in him, and he became this huge dude. But he was just always roided out because of the hormones. And then when he killed the kid, he lost it, and that's when he became.
The car killed the kid.
The car killed the kid. It didn't help that he was chasing.
Was he driving the car?
No, he was.
Okay, so yeah, the car killed the kid.
A kid stole a bike. And he was chasing the kid, and the kid took the bike across a 4-lane highway and got whacked by a car.
The moral of the story, children, is do not steal.
Don't steal a bike. Don't steal.
I was gonna say don't ride a bike, dude. There's been several injuries of people that I know on bikes.
So yeah, man, he's an interesting guy. But now, like, I would see pictures of him, and he still has the titties because you can't lose those titties after the the hormones. Well, I mean, you could get an operation, but he doesn't have the money for that. He doesn't have any fucking money left.
So he's still got the titties.
So he's got the titties. So he like wears big sweatshirts.
Well, he's like, at least it makes masturbation more fun.
Well, I don't think he can get up, man, because he only has the wiener. He doesn't have the balls.
Well, I mean, do you really need the balls?
I think right. That's the whole the balls.
Well, I mean, the balls are definitely where the
part of the process, right?
Where the the whole thing comes to an end. But I don't know. It's interesting.
You want me to show you a picture? I'll show you a picture.
No, I don't want you to show me a picture.
No. Oh, well, I used to have a picture of its dick.
Ew.
Yeah. Oh no. It used. So we used to bring it on booze cruises, and it would come on,
dick?
and well, she was she at the time, Michaela, and so we would bring her on booze cruises, and then we would have contests where people would make out with her.
But she wasn't a good-looking chick.
I'll show you. I don't know if there's any pictures anymore of her as of being a woman.
But I think as an hermaphrodite, he had the right to give them both a test drive and see.
Yeah.
Because the only thing worse than being a man would be being an ugly chick.
All right, so this was
like if you're gonna be a chick, you want to be a good-looking chick so you could reap the benefits of what it is.
I know, dude. It's much easier for ugly guys in this world than ugly.
See, that's gonna be tough. Hold on.
Yeah, text it to me or Gary.
I'm gonna text. I'm gonna text you a bunch of pictures. Now I gotta actually
text him to Gary.
Why not?
Text him to Gary, dude. No, text him to Gary, dude. I'm married. I can't have that shit on my phone.
Delete it,
dude. My wife
delete it.
My wife will go on my phone and look.
But you're the one that got to. Eventually, I got to text it to you. You're the one that got to put it up on the screen.
Hold on. All right, Gary, I'm sending it to you right now.
I can't put it on the screen. I'm just gonna have to send it to him. Just send
it. But I just want you guys to see it.
All right,
Gary. I don't want him to have my number.
I don't think I have your number, Brian. Do I?
No.
All right.
Oh, you don't? That's weird. Oh, you don't have my number?
Yeah. Now you know why.
Now you know what Justin Bieber. Now you know what Justin Bieber felt like. You don't come to my parties. I had a Thanksgiving party. You didn't come.
Yeah, you didn't come. You don't come to any of my parties.
You never texted. You never texted me.
You didn't come to the Halloween.
I don't have your number. All right, Gary. Look at your phone.
Is that?
Look at your phone.
It had to come through.
What kind of cell phone service you have?
Not good, man. That's that T-Mobile. I just paid my cell phone. It just said I need to pay it. I'll be late with all my shit. Yeah, I haven't got it yet, man.
Oh, the cell phone was the best, man. Up until my wife got my shit in order, the cell phone would always be shit and shut off and shit. That was the one bill I never paid. And it wasn't until I got that where you go to make a call and it goes, Sprint.
Yeah. Just yesterday, I went to go turn on my TV and my cable was out. I'm like, fuck, now I gotta pay.
Cable used to be my thing too.
So I paid it, and now they said your cable is due. I'm like, motherfucker, I just paid that shit yesterday.
You just paid it.
Fuck out of here, man, with that bullshit. Brian, so nice of you to get back, man. Listen, guys, I could do this all day. Yo, thanks for coming on, Scotty. I appreciate you. Yeah. I gotta go and host the show tonight.
Yeah, I got to go do some shit
over here at Resorts, man. Listen, if you're still looking for that perfect gift, to get that special someone you love, go to XXXplayground.com and grab yourself the XXX Playground board game. It's the best adult communication game ever created, man. It's sexy. It's beautiful.
What is this?
Roll the dice, man. Get fist deep in someone you love.
I like
this. 2 players. And my old DJ from SSL, my band that I was signed to, he created this game. And it's
a sex game.
It's an adult communication game.
Tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
2 to 8 players. So you could also get fist deep in someone you like. It doesn't even have to be someone you love. It could be someone you like.
Or just met.
I don't think my wife would like that.
Depends on how wild you want the party. And just
you don't have to play with your wife. It doesn't say.
Allegedly, they found 200 of those games right next to the 897 dildos. Michelle, bye. We love you. And thanks for checking us out. Follow Brian at Brian the Video Guy. Follow me at Gary G. Garcia. You can listen to Scotty on the JoJo and Scotty morning show every morning from
5:30 to 9.
5:30 to 9. You can catch me on that show every Monday.
Yeah, or tomorrow morning.
Well, tomorrow morning. We didn't do Monday, so I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Come check me out tonight if you're in AC,
All right.
man.
You know I love you guys.
Stay on the line. Don't hang up yet, Scotty. We're gonna come back just to say bye properly.
You got it.
Peace, y'all.
Gay.